Once again, the BBC are showing their true colours and bias against the people of this country. But what have they done now? Let's get into it. Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first video update of the day. We're going to come to you guys every half an hour with a lot of news updates from this country and what's going on around the world. But first, let's talk about not necessarily the Tory leadership election, but the coverage of the Tory leadership race. Now, GB News had the People's Forum with Liz Truss, and this was the plan they had with obviously the two candidates, Rishi Sunak and Liz Truss, to have it's like a semi-debate sort of thing, right? To interview them. And Alastair Stewart, who is a veteran when it comes to journalism and broadcasting, was hosting it. Something that other channels have done too. The BBC, Sky News, and Talk TV. That's just normal, okay? Even Channel 4 did debates. Now, every time something like this happens, regardless of which media platform, the mainstream media, so especially the BBC, usually use the headlines to report on what's been said. That's just normal. Even if Rishi Sunak or Liz Truss are on Talk TV or Sky News, if they say something interesting, that the BBC would still cover the story. The BBC decided to boycott GB News. They decided to completely ignore anything that was said on GB News by Liz Truss or Alastair Stewart because it's GB News. They don't like it. And what that means is, considering GB News is basically, not that it represents, but it serves a chunk of society at least who are their viewers. They are still the people of this country. A lot of them probably at least still pay the TV license fee by default to watch, not necessarily to watch the BBC, but they're still funding the BBC. Not everybody, but there's still some people. Why is it that the BBC didn't cover it? I mean, even today, if you go on the BBC's website, let's talk about what sort of stuff they're actually covering. You have, obviously, they're giving you the update on the jabs, the latest jabs. They have been covering Keir Starmer a lot over the past 2-3 days. It's all Starmer. Starmer's giving you promises. Starmer's vows to sort out the cost of living crisis. And then there's also a couple of news stories about how Iran blames Salman Rushdie for what happened to Salman Rushdie. So that's what the BBC talks about. Iran blaming Salman for what happened to him, instead of actually talking about all the other important issues as well that's happening around them. Now, they're having some reactions. Alastair Stewart himself came to say, I thought the BBC News and ITV News ignoring this event, the actual show that they had on GB, on their 10 p.m. bulletins last night, was extraordinary. Completely ignored it. No mention, absolutely no mention, which is absolutely fascinating. Dr. Chris Newton said, the mainstream mocked GB News even before it started, but it is showing the rest how it should be done. They're not laughing now. Considering the BBC have their own problems to deal with, they're people who are still cancelling the TV license, despite the fact that the license fee is still going up every single year, because it's not really the invisible hand of the market anymore. They're losing subscribers or TV license fee payers. So they think, well, we're going to have to basically increase the prices for the existing license fee payers. Like, you do realize the more you do this, the more you're going to lose people. You need to find a new funding model. That the whole thing doesn't work anymore. You've completely lost credibility and people are seeing your true colors. It is what it is. But in this channel, we are going to continue to tell you the truth and cover the stories that are not being covered by any of the mainstream media outlets, whether they're new channels or old channels. We're going to come in half an hour to tell you about Nicola Sturgeon. That's going to be a juicy one as well. So subscribe to the channel. I'm Tousi and we are the media.